Hello and welcome back to the Golf Diaries. My name's Mark, and if you're into your VWs, VW lifestyle, car care, detailing, all that kind of good stuff, then hopefully you've come to the right place. So please like, subscribe and press the bell icon and join us for the ride. Today we're detailing. We're detailing this, my new to me VW Caddy. If you haven't seen the video where I introduced you to the Caddy, then I'll put the link in the description below. So today's going to be my first ever detail video, so please bear with me, be kind. Yeah, it's I've already gone through all the decon, so I have prepared it ready for today, brought it inside to get the tools on it and to really start making that paint come alive. So very briefly, yesterday I decontaminated it using Garage Therapy Decon shampoo, used some Bilt Hamber Korrasol fallout remover just to kind of go over the paintwork. I've got loads of that stuff, so I'm going through it slowly. And obviously clayed it as well, gave it another wash down and then dried it off completely, rolled it in. So the paint is now nice and bare. There was only a temporary protectant on there that I kind of whacked on it quickly. It was Garage Therapy Sigma that I put on there when I brought it back from the company I bought it from. So there wasn't a lot to take off, but it's surprising actually, Sigma does cling on. You know, you have to work pretty hard. I mean, I was whacking it with Korrasol and it was only when I started claying, you could still see there was a little bit of protection there. So credit to Sigma, it does cling on and protect the paint pretty darn well. So yeah, we're going to crack on now with the kind of full detail. Now I won't, you know, there's lots of videos out there that show you how to detail a car. You know, this isn't an instructional video. You know, who am I to tell you how to detail a car? But all it will be is it'll be an overview of the process. There'll be a little bit of fast forward. I won't show me machine polishing the entire car because this will become a very long video, and I'm not going to even attempt to try and do a Jim White type video because, you know, he's not just a master of detailing, he's a pretty master of putting together a good detail video as well, so I'm not even going to attempt to do anything like that. This will be a very much an overview of the process, overview of the products we've used. I will go into a little bit more detail on the sealant that I'm using because it's a new one to me, so I'll go into a little bit more detail as to how that applies when I get that far. So enough talking, I need to get on and yeah, wish me luck. Speak to you at the end. Cheers. So, lunchtime. Been doing it for 4 hours now. So far, we've managed to do this side. Yeah, it's been tough going, I'll be honest. But we're getting there, we're getting there. So basically all I've got to do now is the roof, the other side and the rear, and then we can have a break for an hour or so and then crack on with getting the protection on. Don't have to do anything on the inside because I've already done that. I've treated the seats to the Gyeon Clean and Leather Protect kit. I've put 303 fabric guard on all the upholstery and carpet in the back, so and the car mats and things like that. So the inside's done, and then once I've got some protection on tonight, I'll come back tomorrow and I'll do all the kind of fiddly little bits and dressing and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, halfway there. So far, so good. Learnt so far, the Gyeon pads seem to be holding up slightly better than the flex pads. I haven't used the two back to back before. That surprised me. I thought the flex pads were going to take quite a beating, but they haven't done. So the Gyeon pads though, really rate them highly. If you haven't tried them, it's definitely worth trying out. Anyway, enough talk. It's really hot in here. Don't choose to polish a car on the hottest day of the year. Lesson learnt. Anyway, onwards. See you later. Good morning. It's day 2. Yeah, I think trying to get this done in one day was always a little bit on the optimistic side. But yeah, 11 hours of machine polishing yesterday. My back is sore. Credit to the pros who do this day in, day out. It's tough on the body. But yeah, 11 hours for what is a fairly small vehicle. It was hard work. Mainly because on the other side, on the near side, I just haven't quite got enough room to sit around there, but I'll overlay some shots. The near side at some stage in its life has had a little bit of a prang and had some bodywork done to it. Basically all the paint all the way around is typical VW fare. It's 120, 130 microns thick. On the near side sliding door, 1150 microns thick. And as if that wasn't enough, some of the paint was soft, some was sticky, some was hard, there was orange peel. I don't think I've ever used so many profanities in my life. This poor thing was called every name under the sun at some stage yesterday, and that's the reason why I didn't do too many shots, because if I'm being honest, I was really grumpy. I'd had enough. So anyway, what I do want to give a quick shout out to this thing. So it's the Shinemate Mini. Now I wanted to do most of it with my Flex, and obviously the little Flex PXE80 did do a lot of the work for me. But this with a Gyeon polishing pad, what a combination. Sonax perfect finish with this. I ended up doing that whole other side with this and just left the Flex. The Flex, whether it's because it's the direct drive on the soft paint or whatever, but this being a DA and just nice and small, nice and to get into kind of all the angles, and you know, really shone, pardon the pun. So anyway, that was a really awful pun, sorry. But anyway, onwards with day 2. So what have we got planned for today? I did put a coat of Garage Therapy 3CS on this last night just to seal it in. I'm in a dusty garage, so I didn't want to get dust all over unprotected paintwork. So yeah, I will show you next how to apply that. Really easy. And first time having used it, I'm impressed. But yeah, day 1 is done. Roll on day 2. So the application of Garage Therapy 3CS is really quite simple. So start with giving it a good shake. Spritz 3 or 4 sprays onto the microfiber applicator. 1 on the panel. This is a small panel, so only the 1. And then just rub it in nice and evenly across the panel. Obviously bigger panels, give it a second spritz. So just make sure you get nice even coverage. Perhaps put a little bit too much on for such a small panel, but never mind. There we go. And then basically you wait between 30 and 60 seconds and on the old watch, just to let that cure a little bit. And then whilst that's doing that, you can get your short pile microfiber. I'm using a Gtechniq one, but any one that's short pile, nice and soft, is ideal. Time's almost up. Obviously 30 to 60 seconds depends on ambient temperature. It's actually quite a nice temperature in here at the moment, so I'm going to go right down the middle and go for 45 seconds. So we're kind of almost there now. Don't know whether the camera's picking it up, but you can see it's just starting to cure quite nicely. Now with this, you just take it and do a very gentle, hardly any pressure at all, rub over just to level the product. So you're not buffing it off at this stage, just very, very gentle, very light. And then you take a long pile microfiber, like so. And again, just very gentle, just let the towel do the work. Don't put any pressure onto the towel at all. And you just buff it off. That noise was the chair, I assure you. Right, so there you go. Simple as that. So yeah, obviously it's the first time I've used this, so I'm kind of learning the ropes with it, but I have to say it's a really easy product to use, and there's not really a big learning curve with it at all. So I'm going to crack on and do the rest of the car, and then we'll come back and discuss what's going to be done next. I waited a couple of hours, so it's time to add Sigma. So it's just a couple of sprays onto the panel. Wipe it in, just catch the drip. Wipe it in with the microfiber. Just make sure we get a nice even coverage. And then wait for 30 to 60 seconds, similar to 3CS in that respect. No levelling required this time though, it's purely wiping it off with another microfiber in 30 seconds. Okay, so 30 seconds is up for me, probably only a couple of seconds for you. But yeah, 30 seconds and then just wipe it off. Using a bit of an odd cloth here, should really just using a kind of normal microfiber, whatever a normal microfiber is. But I'm using the Platinum Pluffle, I think it's called, which is a bit of a hybrid between a drying towel and a buffing cloth. It's just really, really nice, and it's seriously soft. It's turning into one of my favourite cloths, I have to say. But yeah, again, no pressure as before, and it just comes straight off. No pressure at all, lots of padding there, so you're not going flat onto the, you're not putting lots of pressure through it, and just let the cloth do its work and just guide it around. So there you go. That is Sigma. So the detail is done. Bit red, it's a bit warm in here. As I think I said earlier, tin shed, hot day, don't mix. Anyway, yeah, so what have I learned on this? Well, I learned that sticky, soft body shop paint, which I already knew was sometimes a bit of a pain to correct, can be a real pain to correct. And that's what obviously took all the time yesterday. But yeah, I set out to obviously get this thing looking how I wanted it to look. And hopefully I've achieved that. I'll know once I get it outside, and I'll share that with you as soon as I get it out the doors. But yeah, the other thing I've learnt is a lot more about Garage Therapy products. Now, I've been using their products for a while, as I said before, and yeah, it's my first time using 3CS. So what do I make of it? Well, it's easy to put on. It's very easy to put on. It's probably one of the easier such sealants that I've ever applied. Obviously, durability-wise, claimed 5 months with 2 coats, which is what this has got. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's very slick to the touch. Ideally, I would have left it for a few days before putting a coat of Sigma on, but I know I'm not around much for the next couple of weeks, so I wanted to get the Sigma on now whilst I got the time. So, but we'll see how it all goes. But yeah, really slick to the touch, easy to put on, easy to take off. Yeah, just a joy. And as you can see, I mean, I've been around this twice. Okay, it's not the biggest vehicle in the world, but hardly used any. So yeah, 5 months a pop, that's going to last you a long time. Sigma, don't really need to say a lot about Sigma. I think, a lot of people have said a lot about Sigma online, and rightly so. Really nice product, really easy to use. So yeah, and it does just bring a little bit more gloss, I think, to the overall finish. So again, lovely products. And as for this thing, I don't really need to say much about this at all. The 2 quick detailer, you end up using it for everything under the engine, but just everywhere. Windows, under the engine, in the engine bay, pretty much everywhere. Good work, it's a good quick detailer, so of course you're going to use it. Now, the other thing, and I did kind of point to it when I was dressing the tyres, is this little thing. Now, I don't know if you can make that out. I'm sat quite a long way away from the camera. But yeah, it's a cool little brush. So it comes in a holder, and then you've got, that's for tyres. These bristles are really quite, I don't think you can quite make that out, but they're very close, kind of close together, whatever the proper terminology is. And it gives a really even coat of tyre serum or whatever other dressing you want to use. And the other thing I find, that kind of ridge that goes around the rubber of the tyre, just above the wheel, these just kind of they just kind of go over the top of that really easily, and it's by far the best tyre brush I've ever used. I don't like using tyre applicators. Those sponge applicators are awful things, in my opinion. So I have been just using a normal detail brush, kind of one of those hog's hair brushes, but this is absolutely fantastic. So that's from Carscope. So it's not the cheapest brush in the world, but definitely worth it. So shout out to Carscope, that's a really, really nice product. So yeah, no more really to say or do than to take this out, let you have a look around. And yeah, hopefully when the sun hits it, it'll look all right. I didn't get rid of as many swirls as I wanted, but then again, I spent a lot longer on the polishing than I wanted to, so enough said about that. But it's a work in progress, so this is just the start. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. We'll take it outside, have a look around it, and I'll say my goodbyes now. Thanks for watching.